Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, and we've got breaking news coming out of Georgia. Judge Timothy Batten has issued an order to freeze all Dominion voting machines. This is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some new allegations of fraud being pursued by Sidney Powell out of Virginia and a few other things. Folks, stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing this Sunday afternoon? I am doing well, in the process of writing the podcast, or at least outlining the podcast for tomorrow. It's not going to be fully scripted. We're going to do a little bit of a hybrid episode. And other than that, things are going well. Folks, we keep getting great news out of Georgia, and the latest is an order from Judge Timothy Batten to freeze all Dominion voting machines. And I want to talk about that for a second, folks. So we're going to read through this article. It's by Jim Hoft, the Gateway Pundit, just out right now. Breaking update: Judge Timothy Batten issues the order, folks, via attorney Lynn Wood. Defendants are ordered to maintain the status quo and are temporarily enjoined from wiping or resetting any voting machines in the state of Georgia until further order of the court, and it's about damn time. And I'm sure you guys agree with me that these things should have been impounded already days ago, and we're actually pretty worried about what they could have already done to the system. But this type of order is a good thing. It lets us know that there are folks on our side, that when the left and their fake mainstream media tell the world that there is no fraud, there's no evidence, well, then why are judges ordering for these machines to be frozen? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the leftist narrative is crumbling. It's shattering. It's breaking into a million pieces right before our eyes. They hoped Trump would concede. It was a major part of their plan. It did not happen, and now their plan is falling apart. Check this out. Emergency order just entered by Judge Timothy C. Batten Sr. Defendants are ordered to maintain the status quo and are temporarily enjoined from wiping or resetting any voting machines in the state of Georgia until further order of the court. Stop the steal now at Brian Kemp, Georgia. That's coming from Linwood, and it's actually kind of funny, folks, because he's tagging, if you see this at Brian Kemp, Georgia, he's tagging the rhino traitorous governor of Georgia and letting him know, hey, folks, this stuff's coming out. Hey, Brian, you better get with the program because you are being exposed for the fraud that you are. Folks, then General Flynn weighed in on this, and we all want to hear what he has to say. He said, hashtag Team Kraken wins a major injunction. Judge Batten issues an order to freeze all of the Dominion machines in Georgia. The devil may have gone down to Georgia, but it is light that shines bright today. Ladies and gentlemen, that's from Team Kraken, from Michael Flynn, tagged at Sidney Powell, Abigail Fry, Linwood, The Mark Levin Show, Real Donald Trump. Folks, this is no joke. We are in an ideological and technological civil war, and that's why I'm using sources such as the Gateway Pundit. That's why I'm located on Parler at the James Lane. That's why we're uploading not just to YouTube, but to Rumble, to BitChute, to other methods of transporting this information, because there's now a major split, and we have gone in separate directions ideologically in this country, folks. And this isn't all. I mean, there's more stuff to talk about. We're going to get there, but I mean, we have judges in Pennsylvania putting out opinions stating that Trump is most likely going to win. We have judges in Michigan looking into things. Wisconsin is looking crazy. Nevada. Folks, we are finding problems everywhere. The FBI just contacted the gentleman that was coming up with statistical data for Sidney Powell and requested all of his data. What's Bill Barr doing? If he's not sleeping, maybe, if we're lucky, he's operating behind the scenes and a major sting is going on. Most likely, he's a piece of crap left over from the Bush era, and unfortunately, he has turned out to be a dud. But hopefully, I have to eat my words and apologize to him. I hope that happens. And I hope he's doing something with this information, because right now we all trust the Department of Justice, the CIA, the FBI about as far as we can throw them. We have no faith in them at all. So when we see this kind of news where a judge like Timothy Batten has put an order in to freeze all the Dominion voting machines, that's one step away from impounding them all and getting our experts in there to dig. Remember, these cases that Lynn Wood, that Sidney Powell, that Rudy Giuliani, all of these folks, Jenna Ellis, the Trump legal team and associates and allies and confidants, these lawsuits are not criminal cases. They're meant to bring it to the Supreme Court to make rulings, to judge based upon the constitutionality and order, hopefully, at some point during this discovery, so we can go into Dominion and gut them and find out all of the dastardly deeds that they were doing, and then root through those connections and take all of these sons of bitches down like the mafia. That's what Giuliani's good for, and that's what I am expecting. So when we see news like this, we have to take this and be excited about this and look at this like good news. Even if tomorrow their Supreme Court, their crooked Georgian Supreme Court, and right now, I'm sorry, I just don't trust any Supreme Courts of any state, depending on the appointees, even the Trump appointees. You just don't know who is who. When you're looking at those local courts, I might expect them tomorrow, even if they just rule against this judge and unfreeze the machines. All it does is make them look guilty. Why wouldn't you investigate at this point? So even if it gets thrown out, when you see a judge like this making this ruling, you know that there are people on our side working their ass off to save the republic and preserve the Constitution for our children. Really quick, folks, I want to touch upon Sidney Powell here. She put an interesting thing out just a little bit ago. Sidney Powell, the hashtag Kraken on Steroids team, is also looking at election fraud in Virginia. This is from Jim Hoft again, Gateway Pundit, published today on Sunday, 2:05 p.m. The Gateway Pundit has reported extensively on the chaos and fraud in the Virginia presidential election this year. So we're going to talk about Virginia just for a couple seconds here. On November 9th, we reported on that moment at 5:12 a.m. Eastern when the vote counters took 373,000 votes off the state totals. That's very weird how that happened, isn't it? Especially now that we know that the Smartmatic and Dominion voting machines, you can drag and drop votes into a recycle bin and make them disappear. And this is a big deal, folks. This was reported on, these 373,000 votes that disappeared. If any of you guys were reading this on the Gateway Pundit, and remember, on November 15th, Joe Hoft reported on the multiple reversals and proportional vote entries in Virginia on election night after 11 p.m. And we've seen in multiple states that most of the problems are happening closer towards and after the witching hour, folks. Overall, 3 entries of over 300,000 votes were posted in the database to Biden's vote total. All right, you see these vote totals right here. And if you zoom in really closely, batch total Biden minus 330,000. Right over here, too, 308,341. Very, very, very interesting looking data, ladies and gentlemen. They were posted in the database to Biden's vote count, okay? These were taken off of Trump's, all right? Remember that. These were votes that were dragged and dropped. Remember, they said you could take votes from one candidate like Biden and give it to another like Trump, or vice versa, from Trump to Biden. And we watched in real time when those votes disappeared off of Trump. But now we have evidence that later they reappeared for Biden. Very, very, very strange. Look, folks, at the end of the day, I think it's safe to say that we have fraud coming out of the waterworks everywhere, whether it's Virginia, whether it's Georgia, what we've just been talking about with the judge freezing the Dominion systems. We heard from the beginning that Dominion is being used in over, 30 states, hundreds of counties across the country. Again, how much of this was affected? How much did Dominion have a negative effect on the Republican candidates in the Congress and in the Senate? I believe it's totally possible. We swept everything, but the Democrats safeguard their crooked software, their diabolical database of evil was utilized to screw the right out of their immense landslide victories. It's obvious that minorities, it's obvious that legal immigrants, that hardworking Americans, that middle-class, blue-collared, and even poor folks support the right. They support our President Donald Trump. So when we see news like this and we keep hearing about the fraud and we hear the left crying that Trump is trying to attempt a coup, trust me when I say they are panicking and they are projecting. They are letting you know that Trump might win. And honestly, they're the ones with egg on their face because at the end of the day, we know that Trump will win. We have the right chess pieces in the right place and strategies are in motion. I trust in General Flynn. I trust in this information and I have gone through it. I have dug through it. I've done the thinking. I've done the research. I've put it together and I've presented it to you. And now it's your turn to make a decision for yourself. Folks, thank you so much for watching and we'll talk later when we get to the podcast. Folks, have a great Sunday, and I look forward to hearing from you. Oh, good. I am glad you're still here, comrade. I need you to do me big favor. I need you to go and hit this like button right here. I need you to hit this share button right here. And most important of all, I need you to come up here and hit the subscribe button. Yes, you have to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to American Reveille YouTube channel. Good. And then, comrade, when you're done, go up to the parlor. All right, I need you to find the parlor. Go into your app store, your Google Play Store, and find Parler, Parler. Okay, Parler. And when you get on the Parler, either in the app or www.parler.com, you come and find at the James Lane. The James Lane, the owner and the president of the American Reveille. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, and I look forward to building gigantic, united, right-wing community with you.